So I'm back today, and today I'm not interviewing somebody from the red kite world, from the world Muay Thai circuit. I am in fact interviewing somebody from the world wrestling circuit. Yeah. Now you're not going to believe who this is. He is the Middle Eastern millionaire, the Prince of Panache, and the self-proclaimed #1 player in the game today. We've got no other than Sheikh El Sham. Sheikh, how you doing?
The Sheikh is absolutely fine, as always, enjoying all the wealth and everything that you people can only wish that you would have.
Well, I can imagine, to be honest. I mean, to be fair, I mean, how has the Sheikh passed his time over the lockdown, you know? I can imagine it's not been too difficult with your abundance of finances and goods. What have you been doing to pass the time whilst you've not been able to wrestle your foes?
So let the Sheikh be absolute crystal clear with you. I don't think people actually realize, and people don't understand, that the Sheikh has everything that he ever needs in his palace, in his mansions. The Sheikh doesn't ever have to leave his own premises. So some of you have been craving, just like today with the announcement, when are the gyms going to open? Well, the Sheikh doesn't have to go to the gym because he has a gym en suite. The Sheikh doesn't even have to go to the hairdresser because he has a personal barber. Now I feel it and I can see it. The Sheikh senses the jealousy from people just like yourself.
Well,
but guess what? The Sheikh does not care because he has been blessed.
Well, I mean, obviously that's what you believe and that's what you say, isn't it, Sheikh, that you have been blessed? I mean, okay, so you've been blessed with wealth. Is that a blessing? Have you earned that? Did it all come to you on a plate? How did you make your wealth? How did you make your ensuite gym that you've got and us paupers don't have?
The fact that you refer to yourself as paupers already is a very good sign because you know your place. So the Sheikh appreciates that you know your place. When it comes to the Sheikh's wealth, you're talking about ancestry. It's being passed down. It's been passed down in the bloodline within the Middle East for years and years. So the Sheikh's forefathers has worked hard, whether that be in business, in sport, in construction. They have worked their absolute backsides off. Whereas people over here, these paupers want to sit around and not do anything and live off benefits and then complain and look at the Sheikh and feel jealous and feel envious. That's the difference.
So do you encounter a lot of jealousy, do you think? How does jealousy present itself to the Sheikh?
Well, let's be honest. Who wouldn't want to be jealous of the Sheikh? The Sheikh has it all. You know, the Sheikh's in the car park, his door's being held open by his personal chauffeur, Olivia. She's letting the Sheikh in to the back of his crystal white pearl edition Rolls Royce. And then you see somebody, an absolute pauper, a rodent who goes by the name of Jim, for example, in his little saloon or hatchback or MPV, and he looks over to his wife, looks over to his measly little children, and he knows that he can never be like the Sheikh. So he's got to look them in the eye and tell them, I can't have what the Sheikh has. I can't give you what the Sheikh has. And this is why people like him are jealous.
Could it be fair to say that maybe without these people, Sheikh, that you wouldn't have the same kind of wealth and the same kind of popularity? Because without supporters, where would you actually be?
The Sheikh wants you to know that you need to know your place, because he's asking you a very important question now. What are you trying to say? Be upfront and tell the Sheikh, what are you actually trying to say?
Well, I'm quite an upfront person, to be honest, and we're having an interview and stuff, and obviously, you're quite open at kind of saying about how paupers such as myself are kind of, we've got no place and such like. But my suggestion to you is that perhaps you wouldn't have a place if it wasn't for us paupers. You wouldn't have the superior. I'm just saying, I'm just asking what you think about that potential suggestion.
Rachel, you need to hold your tongue and stay in your lane, because you people are nothing to the Sheikh. You people are not the reason why the Sheikh is where he is. The Sheikh is where he is because of who the Sheikh is, because of who the Sheikh's father is and who the Sheikh's grandfather is. So how dare you paupers and you absolute poverty-stricken rodents take any credit or claim to take any credit to the Sheikh's success?
Next question. So, I mean, obviously that's a sore point, but how do you take your levels of success? I mean, what do you class as successful? Obviously, you class wealth and goods and items as something that would determine somebody's wealth. What about within the ring? You've been beaten. You've been beaten along with all other wrestlers. You win some, you lose some. I mean, where are we on superiority? Are we just talking about wealth here? What about, wrestling? What about what happens in the ring, Sheikh?
Oh, so you want to have a dig at the Sheikh about the Sheikhs being defeated? Let's look at it this way. The only reason and the only time the Sheikh has been defeated when there has been outside interference, when it's not been fair, when it's not been man-to-man combat, when it's not been one-on-one. That is the only time. You want to look at the Sheikh's past? Let's have a quick look at the Sheikh's past. Before the Sheikh came to wrestling, semi-professional, professional turned boxer, 33 fights with 33 wins, 33 knockouts. Absolute perfect streak. So the Sheikh enters the world of wrestling, and everybody knows that the Sheikh is the most talented wrestler to be in the UK right now. And again, then we feel this jealousy comes right back. Everybody knows, oh my gosh, look at the Sheikh. He's great. His body, his stature, his looks, and just the way he's just an absolute performer, all-round performer. So what do? They want to blemish the Sheikh's record by giving him defeats. Management want to take advantage of the Sheikh. Management want to put the Sheikh in matches where they know that the odds are going to be against the Sheikh. And that is the only reason why Sheikh El Sham has defeats under his record.
Okay, so that's one reason why you've got defeats. I'm not. My expertise is in a slightly different fighting arena. But I do know other people in the business, your business, Sheikh, and I have been to shows. I've seen you on shows, Sheikh. I've went to a show. Now you might not like me to hear me say this, Sheikh, but I saw you at the Blackpool Tower Circus fighting against Big T, T-Bone. Sorry. T-Bone it was. If I get them mixed up, then sorry about that. Against T-Bone. And if I remember rightly, Sheikh, you've spent pretty much most of that fight being chased around the Tower Circus, obviously there's probably some kind of, maybe you had an injury or something, or maybe, maybe there was, but it just looked like you were running in fear, to be honest. And there was only T-Bone out there. He wasn't, there was no helpers or anything. I mean, I don't see how that fits in with what you're saying.
Rachel, the Sheikh is this close, an absolute this close to be losing his temper with you. How dare you accuse the Sheikh of being scared, running away? You were lucky to have this interview with the Sheikh, and now what you want to do is run your mouth and get yourself in a bother by talking.
I'm sorry, Sheikh. I'm sorry. You're quite right. You know, you've done me the pleasure today, and you know, done me the honour of coming on my for a chat and for an interview, and I should be more respectful. I'm just saying what I saw. That's all, and I'm sure with the Sheikh.
Whoa, Rachel, shut your mouth and listen to what the Middle Eastern millionaire has to say. People like Tyson T-Bone, Trailer Park fighting piece of crap who wants to take his brawl outside of the ring, doesn't want to abide by the rules, wants to beat on people and break the rules. The Sheikh's trying to protect himself. The Sheikh is a prize fighter. The Sheikh doesn't fight on the streets. The Sheikh doesn't use weapons or anything like that to get the job done. You know, so Tyson T-Bone was way out of order by hammering down on the Sheikh in Blackpool on the outside. However, let's look at the facts. Who was victorious that night, Rachel? Who was the one who had his arm raised in the air for people to see? I think this is what you're forgetting. And where did that take place? That took place in the middle of the ring. And when the Sheikh beat Tyson T-Bone 1, 2, 3, Tyson T-Bone had to flee away to NXT UK because now he fears the Sheikh.
You know what, Sheikh? That's fair dues. That's a fair dues, and that's a good, sound answer from who is clearly a sound man. A sound man. Now, yeah, I mean, I'm not the only one that would ask certain questions about. For example, I heard. So, you know, you don't kick off at me about this, but I heard, for example, that you've got a bit of a feud going with Big T Justice at the moment, and I heard that he might have suggested that you may have all the wealth outside the ring, but in the ring, you're the pauper. Now, I'm just saying that's what I heard that he said. I'm not saying that that's what he said, and I wonder if that is what he said, how would you like to respond to that?
Does the Sheikh make this absolutely clear, if the Sheikh hasn't already? You know, people want to make rumors about the Sheikh. There's going to be talk about the Sheikh. Why? People always talk about the celebrities, the people who are in Hollywood, because they are envious. And we've already established this. Big T Justice is nothing to the Sheikh. What people need to understand, and people like yourself, is Big T Justice is where he is because of the number one player in the game today, because of the Sheikh. The Sheikh gave Big T Justice the chance to be popular, to put himself out there, to be part of the most established team, the most established group of wrestlers in the UK scene known as the Buyout. That was all because of the Sheikh. Single-handedly, the Sheikh was able to take control of PCW. And he did that all by himself. Big T Justice now wants to throw his weight around because he's an oversized piece of garbage and doesn't know how to handle the Big T Justice can't even speak. He needs elocution lessons. Yeah, I don't understand. The Sheikh does not understand a word that comes out of his mouth. Wants to walk around with a little gavel in his hand, telling people he's the law and blah 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 blah. Nobody even understands what he's talking about. So he wants to stick his nose in the Sheikh's business. Let him. The Sheikh says, let him stick his business. Let him stick his nose in the Sheikh's business. Because what's going to happen? It's very simple. The Sheikh is going to spark his lights out.
So you don't think that Big T Justice is going to be dishing out any justice to you anytime soon, Sheikh?
The Sheikh has no place for Big T Justice anymore. No place whatsoever. The Sheikh shouldn't even be in the same ring as Big T Justice because the Sheikh is way up there. And Big T Justice is nothing. Riding the coattails of people like the Sheikh. The Sheikh carried his big overweight horse all the way through the UK scene. Everybody will tell you this. This has been cited. Everybody knows Big T wants to make his name, and he used the Sheikh to make his name.
Who would you fight? Who would your choice be? Who would you like to dish some justice out to? Anybody in the world, any fighter on the circuit, who would you choose? If you could fight them, who would it be, Sheikh?
See now, Rachel, the Sheikh says that's a brilliant question. For once, you're asked an absolute great question. I mean, it took you a while, but you got there. Anyway, the Sheikh would fight absolutely anybody. Just by sat before you right now, you even feel this electricity between this interview, where you know the Sheikh is able to stand tall in the middle of the ring, in front of cameras, in front of millions of people.
It is difficult to deny.
The Sheikh is. Absolutely, of course it's difficult to deny. So the Sheikh would take on, the Sheikh's going to pick somebody where people may not think that this is going to be a dream match. People may not class, oh, I really want to see this match. But because you've asked the Sheikh personally, the Sheikh would want to challenge Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson in a one-on-one, because he classes himself as the most electrifying man in sports entertainment. Let's be honest, in all of entertainment. But that is way before anybody knew who Sheikh El Sham was.
I love the fact that you picked Dwayne Johnson for your The Rock, for your fantasy bout. It's been a while since he's been on the circuit, but I only saw the other day, I saw him jump off a crane. Okay, he ran and jumped off a crane, and he landed on the edge of a burning building and managed to save like everybody in it. How do you think the Sheikh is going to be able to stand up to somebody who can achieve that level of awesomeness?
Anything Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson can do, the Sheikh can do better. And the Sheikh's in the business. The Sheikh is wrestling week in, week out. It might be 4 matches a week. It might be 5 matches a week. Prior to lockdown, the Sheikh was putting in the hours. And that's right. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson has not been in the business, has not been in the wrestling business for a while. Instead, he's taken himself to Hollywood. And yes, he's a great athlete. And he's a fantastic wrestler. He is one of the best of the old-time era that we've ever seen. But this is exactly why the Sheikh has something to prove.
Wow, that's a rare show of respect there for a fellow wrestler from the Sheikh.
You see, Rachel, respect is given to people who have earned it. It's very simple as that. Yes, you're right. The Sheikh looks down upon people, but the Sheikh looks down upon people who are nowhere near his level. Okay? Now, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is more than the Sheikh's level. He is on the level of the Sheikh. We all are from a wealthy background. The Sheikh is very wealthy, and now Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson being wealthy, that's how it is. However, I'm not going to play on this too long, but if the Sheikh was ever meant to get a dream match, it would be against none other than The Rock himself.
Well, I love that idea. That would certainly be one for us all the Sheikh fans to be able to watch. I mean, coming towards the end of our interview now, I appreciate how valuable your time is and just how much of your time that you've given me today. I mean, have you got any of your belts or bling that you can show us? You've got the PW4U Tag Team Championship, I believe, there, and you won the Wrestle Island and you're the Wrestle Island briefcase holder. Is there any tips for success you can give to your menial fans?
So You're asking the Sheikh for tips, and the Sheikh wants to show you the PW for you belt because in the house he resides in at the minute, one of many houses. In fact, he has the PW for you Tag Team Championship here right now. But the Sheikh's not going to get it from here and get it for you. He's going to get one of his servants to get it for you. You're done! Oh! The Sheikh's just going to get one of his servants to get you his belt.
Wow. Well, thank you. Thanks, Sheikh.
So, your question is about tips. What you want to know from the Sheikh, how to be successful, and how to be successful in what exactly, Rachel? What is the question that you want to ask the Sheikh?
We all want to know, Sheikh, how can we try and just be as good as you in all things, in the ring, in life? You know, what's your main tip for wealth, or do we just not stand a chance?
Let's be honest. If you're asking Sheikh El Sham, how do we get anywhere near your level? What you need to do is you need to go to sleep and just dream, because that's all it's ever going to be. You're going to be nowhere near. You will never achieve what the Sheikh has. All it took the Sheikh was a year, 1 year. It took the Sheikh before he was introduced on the UK independent wrestling scene. He was training for 9 months. Yes, granted, prior to that, the Sheikh did have a professional boxing background. Yes, he did have some experience within athletics, tennis, for example. You know what the Sheikh used to do when he was in the Middle East, Rachel?
I don't. Please tell us.
Now, the Sheikh had a number of exotic animals, including cheetahs and tigers. So when the Sheikh used to go out, he would take the cheetahs and tigers out, and he would try and race. At a very young age, Sheikh was what, 12, 13 years old, and he would try and race against these cheetahs and tigers. Yes, granted, the Sheikh didn't have a chance. We're talking about the fastest animals on the planet. But in order, the fact that the Sheikh tried, that means he wanted to be successful.
You see, that's a good message to give out from a guy such as yourself, who doesn't usually kind of offer tips to help other people. That's a great tip, especially for other little sheikhs and other little wrestler guys, you know. Maybe they can try racing against their rabbits, or maybe their dogs, or squirrels or something. We don't tend to have cheetahs over here, but yeah, I mean, that's you know, a good tip, you know. And I think the idea of just pushing yourself, Sheikh, pushing yourself to the hill is a good message to anybody. Where are we going, Sheikh? Are we looking at your belt?
The Sheikh is just going to get his servant to bring you his belt, the tag team belt, and they're going to bring it to the Sheikh. So you're absolutely right, Rachel. If these people want to try and wrestle and run and race against their hamsters or dogs and their pets that they have in their measly little homes, but let's make something clear: ain't nobody anywhere or anybody I can think of is going to be anywhere near the Sheikh in every capacity. That might be business, that might be in the ring, that might be just overall success. Now let the Sheikh show you exactly. So this is one of many titles. This is one of many titles that the Sheikh has. Here is the Pro Wrestling for You Tag Team Championship. Okay, the Sheikh and G Wiz Bond have held these titles for more than 12 months, and let's make it absolutely crystal clear to each and every single one of you guys that the Sheikh and G Wiz together, we're known as the Sovereign. We are going to be having these titles and keeping these titles as long as we want.
That's great to hear. And you don't think, again, last question, you don't think that your elbow injury from last year, you don't think that's going to make you any less of a fighter or any less of a man? You don't feel like you've come back any less of the Sheikh than you were before?
Okay, let's discuss this elbow injury. It's very ironic that you bring up the elbow injury because exactly it was a year yesterday since the Sheikh snapped his elbow in 2 places. Okay, so you've seen the Sheikh before his elbow injury, Rachel, and you've also seen the Sheikh after his elbow injury. You tell the Sheikh, what do you think? Does the Sheikh look any different? Does the Sheikh look like, oh, he might seem a little bit weak, he might seem a little bit fragile? Explain that to the Sheikh. What do you think?
Honestly, so far, I have to say, it doesn't look like it's rocked you. But in your mind, are you still 100%? Is there not even a slight wavering of confidence there?
You know something, Rachel? If the Sheikh had any doubts in his mind, he wouldn't be in this business at all. He wouldn't be where he is now. You're absolutely right. An injury like that, it is difficult. It is difficult. The Sheikh made something clear that everybody might want to hear this. Okay, the Sheikh was cleared. The Sheikh got cleared from his elbow injury, knowing that he had elbow surgery in August of 2019. So we're talking August last year, the Sheikh had elbow surgery. Okay? Yeah. The Sheikh was then cleared in October 2019. And then had his WWE tryout in November 2019. Now, you have to understand that somebody who's gone through a 4 to 5 week rehab and who's had nothing else to focus on apart from strengthening his elbow has got to be fixated on this sense of achievement and success. Nothing in here or in here is ever going to stop the Sheikh from making it.
You know what? That comes across loud and clear, Sheikh. It really does. Now, I'm not going to keep you any longer from your extremely important daily tasks. I just want to say thank you, Sheikh El Sham, for speaking to me today. Is there anything you would like to say to your fans before you go? I know you don't have a great deal of time for your fans. You're such a busy guy.
All the Sheikh wants to say is the Sheikh is the #1 player in the game today, and everybody's been running their mouth recently. That might be on social media, and that might be on videos about making promos, okay? But the Sheikh wants to say, those of you that are running your mouths and want to pretend to be the kings, what you are forgetting is the most important card in the pack, and that's the ace, Sheikh El Sham.
Well, that's great. And I think everybody will agree that that was a thoroughly interesting interview with some insight into how the Sheikh, where he started. I mean, racing against Cheetahs, who else gets that opportunity other than the Sheikh himself? So I just say thanks to the Sheikh. Thanks for coming on and thanks for talking to me today. And hopefully we'll all catch up soon and we'll see you in the ring once lockdown's over. Thanks, Sheikh. Bye-bye.